and we are taking a look right now at our green room. It is where our guests go to chillax before they come onto the show. There's a wonderful green room. There's the sponsors right there. Oh, we got a couple guests in there chilling. It's a nice couch in there. Okay, we've been celebrating so much today. I mean, National Sewing Month, the season October, fall themed beers, and now we're getting ready to celebrate National TV Dinner Day. And who better to do that with celebrity historian Raffi Andonian? Oh, we need some applause.
Yeah. Never frozen in time.
What?
TV dinner.
Sorry. Over my head. But anywho, this right here did bring back memories.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
TV dinner with the Salisbury steak.
Some of the OG stuff right there.
Mom, if you're watching, they're coming back to haunt me. Okay? I was telling everybody. My mom would always have these Salisbury steaks stacked in the freezer. And she would say, "Hey, y'all hungry?" I'd be like, "Yeah." She'd say, "Well, there's some Salisbury steak downstairs." I'd be like, "I don't want that." And she would say, "Well, you're not hungry."
Salisbury steak is one of the original TV dinners, and so is like chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
So is meatloaf. These are some of the originals right here on this side.
The OGs.
That's right, the OGs. Now, to give you an idea of why TV Dinner Day is the day that it is, because that's the day that TV dinner was invented in 1953, on September 10th in 1953. The technology of it predates that, though.
Oh.
So you have a guy, this is how kind of the story goes of how this starts about. You have a guy that is an entrepreneur and a naturalist who's looking at the Inuit in Canada, the indigenous people, and the way they fish and preserve their fish for the season. Well, you have to freeze the fish, right? So he kind of steals some of those ideas and comes up with this kind of a technology version of it, double belt and kind of rapid freezing, what we would call flash freezing, which actually helps preserve the freshness of the of the original freshness of it. It captures it.
Yes.
But what's funny about that is you need a lot of refrigeration for that. But in the 1930s and into early 1940s, you don't have a lot of refrigeration and ice boxes in people's homes, so it's a tough thing to sell. So initially, it starts actually on planes, especially in the military, believe it or not. Think of it this way, like you think of military rations, it's usually like really nasty, like especially back in the day, it was too hard, too soft, too cold. This actually allows you to have a real meal that you can heat up quickly and eat a decent mood, a lot more flavor. Exactly. So think of it like military rations, and then it becomes commercial plane food, which also makes sense, right? Think about on a plane, you have limited options. But eventually, it goes on into beyond that to bars and taverns. Why do it make sense there? Because think about it, at a bar, maybe you don't want to hire a cook and have a whole kitchen. Think about some of your favorite bars, they may not have a kitchen. Where they sometimes get food, we still might have frozen food that comes out. So think that's the context in which it starts to go directly to consumers and eventually spreads across beyond that to be distributed, kind of more to households, if you will. In fact, the original company that was really doing this nationally, Swanson and Company. Yeah. So initially, they're the guys that created Hungry Man later on, but they didn't start Hungry Man until a little later. Swanson initially, the first year, they sold 10 million of these TV dinners when they did it in 1954. The next year, 25 million. So it was blowing up in the 50s.
When we start talking
That's why I wore my 50s outfit, by the way. Leather jacket, proper hair with like Johnny Cash, got the blue suede shoes back here.
Looking good, Raffi. When we first started talking about TV dinners, I didn't know that you were going to come with all of this history. Like, this was a very intentional thing that they thought about.
It is.
I imagine somebody sitting at the couch, watching TV, got a table, and like, man,
that's right.
This would be great for the TV dinner.
So that's funny because Ronald Reagan, the president, in the 1980s, very famously sat in front of his TV and had the little tray that you're talking about. And TV is an important part of how TV dinners get popular. So we're talking about the 1950s. Here's a stat for you. In 1950, less than 10% of households in the U.S. have a television. By 1955, it's about 2/3 of households. By 1960, more than almost 90% of households have TVs. So TVs are this cool thing. Remember, you can only catch it live. You can't record it and watch it online. So you either catch it or you don't. So instead of having dinner with a family, you're going to hang out around the TV and catch the later shows live and have the convenience of this going on. And one more thing, the housewife is not having to make dinner now.
You can catch him on celebrityhistorian.com. Bye, guys.